people are still gonna hate on it. They're not gonna believe while it's in process. Other people might call it crazy, but I'm gonna call it obedience. What are we living for? Like, are we living for Christ? Who am I? Man, first and foremost, I'm a follower of Christ. I am a husband, father, pastor, and I'm blessed that the Lord does what He does in my life. I just wanted to kind of come on and explain who we are. What is the dying breed? What kind of content are we going to be filming? What are we going to be doing? And I'm excited. I'm really excited. The dying breed started off as an idea. It was me and a friend of mine, and we fresh out of high school. It was like 2020-ish, 2021 time. You know, that COVID era, and we had just an idea, and we called it Work Hard Paradise. And we would just film each other running and doing different agility workouts, and it turned into jump roping. It just started kind of becoming more fitness content, and then we kind of like fell off with being consistent with it, and it kind of just faded like most kind of dreams. And you know, he left for college, and different things happened, and our relationship kind of got severed, and we just grew apart. But I still had this like dream kind of set inside of me where I was like, man, like I really enjoy doing that stuff. Like I enjoy the creation side of it. I enjoy the production side of what we were doing, whether it was editing the pictures, videos. I really enjoyed it. And I was like, well, here we go. So I sought the Lord, and I was like, man, like I don't want to do something that's like how everybody else is. Right? I don't want to just mimic or replicate what somebody else is doing. And I came across, and it just kind of hit me, and it was called The Dying Breed. And I was like, okay, Lord, I don't know what this is. And again, I tried to force it to be this fitness content. And me and another group of friends, we were all working out together. We set up a gym in the garage. We hung a camo tarp. We kind of set everything up, and we started making these workout videos. We had turf in the garage, and it was still like the same result where eventually, right, things just kind of faded. The inconsistency kind of just set in. And I didn't know what the dying breed really was supposed to be. And I just kind of sat on this idea for a while, just sat on it, sat on it, sat on it. And I was like, okay, God, at the right time, it's going to happen. And crazy enough, I was actually out on a missions trip in Honduras. And I'm sitting with one of my mentors and pastors, and I'm just sharing ideas with him of videos I want to make, the kind of creation I want to do, and just picking his brain because he is not only an amazing man of God, but he's also a business owner, multiple businesses. He is got a podcast, he's got his own brand, he's just doing so many amazing things. And I was like, well, if I want to learn from anybody else, I got to learn from him. So I just kind of began to share ideas that I have, and he was like, I love it. And that was the first time that I heard somebody tell me that they loved the idea that I had. So I was like, okay. And he said, but if you're going to do this, it needs to be founded on Bible. There needs to be a scripture that's attached to this. So he began to help me search right there. He just opened up his word, and we began to search, and he finds, it was a different version, but he finds, he brings me to First Peter. And he reads First Peter to me, and then we start looking at different versions of in First Peter, and we kind of came to First Peter 2:9-10, but in the Message version. And it says, but you are the ones chosen by God, chosen for the high calling of priestly work, chosen to be a holy people, God's instruments to do his work and to speak out for him, to tell others of the night and day difference he made for you. From nothing to something, from rejected to accepted. And the moment he finished reading it, it just stuck. And that kind of became who, or the identity behind the dying breed. And the dying breed, truthfully, is like a culmination of just who I am as an individual, my wife as well. And we just kind of put this all together, and we're just like, okay, we're going to give it to you, Lord. And whatever's going to happen is whatever's going to happen. And we thought thought it was maybe gonna be like a t-shirt business, and we kind of started making a little bit of t-shirts, and it still was like I had this pit inside of me where I was like, man, like I know what I kind of want this to be, but I had like this fear of putting it out there for people to experience. So it started with I had a whole bunch of old clips, and you could actually go look at them, of our missions trips, and I tried to clip them together to make them make as much sense as possible, and then do a voiceover so that way you can kind of get some understanding. But it wasn't like very like intentional, right? The videos weren't very intentionally made. They were just kind of like organic things that I kind of got recorded, or somebody else in the group recorded that I got, so that we can kind of plug it all together. And I'm like, man, like it would be really interesting for individuals who can't go on a missions trip, an international missions trip, I would say, to be in that space. So I started doing that. So I'm looking forward to going to Peru. I'll be in Peru this July to one, intentionally record, but to also maybe dive in a little bit deeper with filming and recording. But the mark of the dying breed is to kind of bring us back is we want to be uncommon, unshaken, and unapologetic in what we do. We truly want to, like it says, know that we are one chosen by God, and we don't want to fear that. We don't want to fear what God is trying to do in our lives because of what man might say. There's a saying that I heard, and it says that if you live for people's acceptance, you're going to die from their rejection. And when I heard that, I actually got the t-shirt on of it. It it just hit me like a ton of bricks, because it was true. Like what are we living for? Like, are we living for Christ? Are we truly living for God? Are we living for the acceptance of like godly people? Because we kind of get those two things kind of swelled together. And I was like, man, like we kind of came to a point where like we don't really care what people think. Like, we don't care what other people feel about it, because if the Lord put us to it, then we know that He's gonna get us through it. So this is the kind of content we're gonna film. It's no real specific niche. There's no real specific only this. You're gonna get lifestyle content of our lives of being young pastors of a church plant here. You're gonna get sports or fitness content, outdoors content, um, behind the scenes of church leadership, just honest conversations, hardships we've gone through, and the realities of so many of these things, because social media is easy to kind of paint this beautiful picture, or like this glossy, um, you can manufacture it. You can make it look really, really good, and there's a hidden side to it that nobody really talks about. It's kind of like it's a little bit hidden, and I think that if we want to, especially with this channel, empower and equip people, they've got to see the hidden things. They've got to see those broken things, so that way when you're in the mix, you're not caught off guard or surprised by what's happening. That you are like, oh wow, like I've heard of this before. So we want to just open up all these conversations, and we're going to do it unapologetically. Share stories of our past, and maybe bring in some different guests eventually, and almost use we have like podcasts, adventure videos, some different conversations of like just fishing talk, fitness talk, and how fitness helped shape the foundation of my faith. And just, we'll see where the Lord takes it. We'll see where the Lord takes it. We're blessed. My wife and I, we are pastors over a church plant here in Dade City, Florida, of a church without walls. And it speaks into like our missions background of what we love to do. And we just want to unapologetically be in the community. Even if it disrupts people's mornings, we're going to continue to worship. We're going to continue to praise. And we've got a fearless group of leaders who are with us. And we are blessed. We are blessed to have them and to go on this journey. But I do want to talk and kind of shed light into the reality of things, right? And I believe that there's going to be people who are going to watch this video, and they're going to be like, who the heck is this kid? What is he talking about? Who does he think he is? And maybe you might identify with those pieces. Where you've got dreams, you've got business ideas, you've got an invention, you have just something in your life that you want to achieve. Go for it. Go for it. Because at the end of the day, people are still gonna hate on you. There's not gonna be very many people who support you. But give it to God. And when it comes from God, right? Here's the bigger caveat. When you know it's something that came from God, when you know it comes from Him, just trust Him. Because people around you they're not gonna believe in you. They're not going to. That's the reality. They're only gonna believe once they've seen the success. They're only gonna believe once they've seen you achieve something. They're not gonna believe while it's in process. So it's gonna suck. It's gonna be hard. But press through. Build the business. Build the build the dream. Chase those things. Don't chase a career. Chase your calling. Chase it. Because other people might call it crazy, but I'm gonna call it obedience. Chase it. The reality is, right, we live in a time where if Noah was trying to build an ark in today's time, I believe many pastors would tell Noah to stop building. Many people would have kicked Noah out of their church. They would have said that he is the wayward son, and they would have done all of the things to prevent him from building what God had called him to build. It wasn't a conference call. Noah was called by God. So for those of you who feel that man, like I have this thing inside of me, but I have this fear or this doubt of what other people might think, just build it. Just build it. Just do it. Give it to God and just see what happens. Just be obedient to what He's trying to place in you and let it happen. That's all I can say is just let it happen. Because you don't know what can happen from it. So let it do. Man, and I don't know exactly where we're gonna go with this channel, right? I'm gonna be honest with you. Like I shared, right? We want to share with all these things, but I think our niche is gonna be loving Jesus beyond the walls, right? And it's gonna kind of be a place where I shared before, like the faith, fitness, sports, outdoors, ministry, kind of like they meet at this place, and it's all God, right? Like I want to get that, not that there's like, no, like it's all God, but that it's like this crosshair, and that in that place where all of those things meet is kind of where we're gonna be. Somewhere in the midst of all that, you're gonna get mission trip videos, you get fishing videos, you get real honest conversations, and we're just gonna see. We're just gonna see what the Lord wants to do and where we're going. God bless you guys.